So the last thing stressing me out, the last thing at the forefront of my mind in the top tier list of 3 things at a time that I can focus on that's stressing me out, not on the back burner, is the 30 days of canine science course. I think I moved too soon. I think I tried to do too much too fast. And now I just feel really guilty or bad every time I'm engaging with them, and I'm not doing that because I really want to just like take them out individually, start filming us, go through sessions. Like, I think about teaching them something new using the course, and I feel empowered and this really high desire to do it and to feel close. And then at the same time, I feel this really intense panic and like almost disbelief, disappointment, like I'm going to lose them before I've done it, like going, I can't believe I'm actually going to not manage to start this course until it's too late for them. I don't know why, because they're right there. I'm right here. That has not happened. But it's like I believe so firmly it's going to happen that it's like I can't connect and start it. So I'm trying to work out what I did there, because the other day I tried to desensitize us to it. Maybe I moved too fast in the desensitization process. Maybe it's like even more intense than I realized. At the minute, I've gone back to not looking at it at all, and trying to just get rid of the guilt I feel for that and work through feeling more relaxed about working within my means, and remind myself that we're doing really intensive trauma processing work about grief and loss, so those fears might be amplified because that's kind of the sort of trauma that we're currently digesting, even though it's not related to the dogs. It does weave in and out a bit. Like, okay, there is a connection, because like, say, I wanted a dog forever, we all did, and Mum, I think quite rightly really, said that we shouldn't get one while we lived in a flat. I'm very grateful for that, really. I was really sad when we were young, we really wanted one, but I'm thinking about it now and I'm like, that wasn't a good area for dogs, really. That wasn't like, wouldn't have had a great life. So we waited till we were in a house. And then specifically, Nan had just gone into the home. I think the plan was that she was... How did this work? I can't remember the timeline. I think Nan had just been diagnosed and had been... we were looking at moving house so that we could have a 3rd bedroom so she could move in with us. And it was like between that and looking at homes. And Mum specifically said like, hey, I saw an advert for Springador puppies. Would you like, and then she was like, oh God, I don't know why I said that. And I was like, let's go look at them. I promise I'll only ask for one if there's a special one. And she was like, they're puppies, there's going to be a special one. But no, we both agreed that he really was. He just like immediately sat up and looked at me like, you know, a little bite missing out of his ear from where a sibling nipped to. And he was enthusiastic to meet me, but also very chill, very present for a puppy, like impressive fucking shit. And Mum was like, you know, I think it would be a good idea with what's happening for Nan, for you to have something that you could just unconditionally love. I actually think that was a really, really helpful move on her part. I think he kept us anchored and connected to our ability to connect in times where we otherwise probably would have shut it off entirely and might be looking into our 40s or 50s before we even came out of the sort of level we were at. But for you, and God knows Ryan, I think they probably had to keep us in a place where I would even bother reaching out to somebody. So it was really, really helpful that she did that. And Nan could still kind of understand sentences. Like, there was a middle ground where she could understand things, but then she couldn't, like, it was like she couldn't hold her grip on reality, and she'd go off into things that didn't quite make sense, or the past, or skip around time periods, but she could still be lucid and give you an answer to things, moments. So Mum asked for her permission, and she paid the deposit for the dog. So it was kind of like, I think he might be the last thing that Nan ever technically bought me, like, unless I yeah, consciously bought me. And there's a big, like, I guess there's a big connection there, but the parts of me that sort of have connection to anything to do with Nan are like so distant. I guess that's part of this integration process that we're kind of currently on at the minute, but those parts have been shut away a lot. And so it makes sense. It makes sense, doesn't it? Do you mind coming closer? Yeah, that was English. Come a bit closer. Yeah, can I have your left? Thank you. Can I have your right? Thank you. And again. Oh, you're so clever. You're so clever. And I think because of the connection between those periods of time and everything going on, I haven't quite seen why, other than, like, I kind of get the obvious, like, yeah, brain is experiencing intense loss and grief from strong connection. Brain fears strong connection. Brain sees very strong connection and fears loss. So tries to preemptively disconnect. But other parts of the brain will not ever disconnect and will refuse. So I guess there's like parts of me, ginger spin, yeah, that it's like I struggle to fight to hold on, and I refuse not to. But this leaves me very dissociative and very blurry and very like holding a heavy fucking weight in my chest every time I engage, and all of these kind of looping, racing thoughts that are it's so hard to disconnect those things. And obviously I know, logically I know, they're here now, I'm here now, eventually they are not going to be around, and all I will think of are the moments that we spent time together in each individual little moment of connection that I was able to be present for. So that's the things I'm trying to focus on, but like, you can't logic your way out of trauma. So those may be the things I'm trying to focus on. And it's not that simple. So I think I'm at the point now where, like, normally we've we work through stuff as much as we can until or unless we get to a place where I'm stuck. I think this counts as being stuck. So this is probably going to be the thing I bring to our therapist whenever we next have a session, which should be kind of coming up soonish. We can only afford sessions every 3 weeks because we're fucking broke. That is a goddamn barrier. That mildly stresses me as well, to be honest. We do a lot of work on our own. I feel like we'd be closer to thriving and better able to stabilise ourselves right now if we could afford more sessions, because I got to kind of really pick and choose which issues are the most important and what are we the most stuck on to bring to her. Like, journal it out before and work out, like, track the core beliefs and the thoughts and the behaviours, and where they intersect. I can't possibly explain this, but it's the same way that I would create a behaviour change plan for a dog, by looking at, like, each step by step as it builds into the long-term picture. So I would set a plan that spanned over like a 6-month course for treatment for some dogs, and I would know what I was doing tomorrow and the day after, and usually it would just be like a work on bare basics and drill it and then proof it in different environments and stuff for each section, but I could see how it would intersect and which things would go where, and it's like I can just see how they weave together until the end result. And sometimes when I'm doing it with us, I see how it weaves together, and then there's this bit that's missing, and I know what the end result kind of looks like, but there's this bit between it being woven and it being completed, where I'm not certain what goes on there. So I just like track it until I get a missing bit, and then bring the missing bit to our therapist and be like, this is the information I have, this is what's happening, this is where I'd like to be, what the fuck's going on? And I think that's where I'm at with the dog connection, because I really do want to I'm appreciative of where I am able to spend time with them, but I can literally feel it. It's like a magnet repelling me. It hurts. It hurts my chest to try to even look at them and feel and notice how cute they are, and feel how much we love them, and how excited I am when we communicate together and they understand me and they look at you like, whoa, we just communicated, and I'm feeling the same, and it's like these fucking beautiful, spiritual, amazing moments, and it hurts me to have them. And the fact that it hurts me to have them really hurts, because that sucks. They're the best fucking creatures in the whole world. I don't think there's anything better than being able to communicate with, like, what sort of kid doesn't wish to talk to animals? Turns out it just takes 8 years of courses, conferences and events and books. But seriously, it's the best thing ever. And I feel like it burns me to do it. It's so hard to stay in my body. And it's like all the comfort and love and connection and amazement I feel at them is mixed with grief and pain. And like I still engage because I fucking love them. They're worth all of that. But the thing is, it's so much to lift and carry. It just wears me out, which is why I haven't managed to do the course. I think the first thing that would help is, like, somehow I've got to be forgiving of the fact that those things are intertwined, and understanding of that. Because on top of that hurting me, I have the fact that it's hurting me, and that's at least one that I can do something about. So more understanding and forgiveness and compassion with the fact that I've been traumatized and our connection to our dogs have been impacted. And that fucking sucks. Oh my god, does that fucking suck. That's heartbreaking on a level that I can't quite articulate. When they were probably the creatures that saved us from being closed down to connection the world over. Alright, well, working on understanding and compassion, less guilt, bringing it to my therapist. Okay, we're good.